Okay, I'm going to hook up the heat pump cables to breakers in this sub panel. And so there's a 60 amp double pole feed that feeds this panel, even though it's got a 100 amp breaker. This could have been a main panel, but it turned out it's a sub panel. So it's wired up with the grounds and the neutrals separated down in here. So it's officially a sub panel. It doesn't matter about this breaker. It's all controlled by this double pole 60. And so that's the limiting factor. So it's basically a 60 amp sub panel. So this breaker is off, and this breaker is off. I'm going to take off the front here. We are going to verify that the power is off in this panel once we get the cover off. And I'm just going to make sure my meter's working on a known good source first. So we'll go over here. It should be 120 volts in this receptacle here. If you can see that there, we get 124 volts there. Okay, so the meter's working. Let's see what we got in the panel here, if anything at all. We have nothing. We have nothing there, and we have nothing there. Okay. Very good. What I've got done for the heat pumps here is I got these two NMD 90s 12-2 brought into here as a junction box, and I'm going to use the red stuff going into the panel for 2 hots, because it's going to be a 240 volt circuit. But in this junction box here, what I've done is I've taped them off. The neutrals are taped with black to indicate a hot. So this is going to be junctioned here, and then eventually I'll staple these down once I'm done here. And I'm just going to go through the side, and I'm going to change the position of some of these breakers here. There's nothing hooked into this sub panel, as you can see right now. First 2 circuits in there will be for the heat pump. Okay. What I want to do is I want to put these double 20s down at the bottom here. I want to put them on this side over here. So I'm going to clear out 4 spaces on this side. None of these, like I say, none of these are hooked up. So, and I got two double pole 20s here because it's 12 gauge wire. All right, so we'll put one there, and what's that? A 20 there. I'm going to put it down below. So the bottom 2 on this side. Okay. So they'll be 240 volts each, and then we'll just put these other ones back in here as spares, in no particular order because we don't have anything to go in here yet. Okay, and then these ones here, same thing, and this one here, that. Okay. So that's a double pole 20 there. Make sure these are all turned off. Okay. Okay, so these ground bus bars come with the panel when you buy it, and they just haven't been put in wherever you want them. So I'll put one here. I might as well put a couple in because we're going to need them eventually. So. And I'll put another one up here. Okay, and I'll get one more. I'll put it on the other side. Put one right here. I'm going to come in. I'm going to come in on those bottom 2 knockouts there. Okay, so one there, one there. That's good. Get those out of there. Okay. Now, doesn't matter which one goes where, because they're both identical. Okay, so a little little bit of slack up there for my cable management. And we can call it stripped about there. This other one, bring it down. We can call it, I guess, stripped about there. I don't know if you guys have ever used one of these before. It's just a cheap little tool for stripping wire. Yeah, you just put the cable through down to where you want it, and there's a little point that sticks down, and you just drag it, and it just runs between the two wires in there, and it opens up that sheathing on the NMD 90 just like that. Slick as that, see? And I just cut them off. Cut it off like that. That's one. And the other one, same way. Just put that down through, like so. And we'll just put that down. Give that a pull. And it opens up. Slick as that, see? Take that off there. All right. We got a couple of these connectors. All right. So just run our cable through there like that. And back up onto the sheathing. And you should have about 1/4 of an inch of sheathing. Not much more than 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of sheathing sticking inside the panel. Okay, bring it through. Like that. And we'll just give that a little squeeze. Okay. I usually like it to turn it where the seam is not showing on the front. All right, same with the other one. Just bring it through until it's about 1/4 of an inch sticking through. Place that in. Now, just before I do anything here, I'm going to make sure that these are going to work the way they're laid out. Yeah, that's going to be fine. Yeah, that looks good. That'll be fine. Okay, I can manage those in a minute. All right, so when I get in here, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up the grounds. I'm going to separate these aside, like so. Get my ground out of there. Like that. All right. What I like to do with the grounds, put them a loop in it like that, and then bend it 90. And same thing with that one. Just bring it down and then make a little 90, like so. Now for grounds, you can put them several under one screw if you want. It's not like putting a double tap, like when you're putting your hots under one breaker. You can't do that. That's not allowed. But a couple like that is fine. Oh, let me see here. Let me see. Nice and snug. Okay. Now we'll just bottom out those other ones. All right. I'm gonna tuck those grounds just back in the box like that. And then what I like to do with the hots is tuck them back like that and then just bring them straight across. So I'll figure out my length there. I always like to give myself an extra couple of inches inside the box in case plans change and you want to move something around. Okay. And I'm going to do that same with that one. So there we are. All right. So, like so. Okay. And that's number 12 wire. like using the blunt side up. Where's the blunt side up? Okay. Okay. You don't want very much showing here. You only need about 3/8 of an inch to go in there. You don't want to have any bare copper showing beyond the connection. You don't want to have any copper out in the showing out in the panel. Okay. 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 That's one. Same thing. Same thing here. Like that. Okay. Try and keep it as neat as I can. Okay. And I like to use the same orientation. Black on top, red on the bottom, or red on the top, black on the bottom, whatever. I like to keep it the same all the way through. It doesn't matter. It's 240, but so they're both hot, but just like that for order. Nice and snug. Same with this one. That in there. And like I said before, don't do your own electrical work. Get a qualified electrician to do your work. There's no second chances with electricity. And if you don't know what you're doing, don't guess. Hire an electrician, get it done right. These videos are what I'm doing, not what you should do. Okay. You should go and read the disclaimer under every one of my videos. I post a disclaimer. You should read that very carefully. My intention is not for you to do what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna make sure these are nice and snug. You want those nice and tight. Okay. Like so. So. Okay, grounds are good. There's no neutral because it's too hot. And they're nice and snug. All right. Now, before I put the cover back on, I always double check. I just double check how tight those grounds are. And I'm going to go through these one more time, even though I was just there. I'll make sure they're nice and snug. Nice and snug. And again, nice and snug. Very good. Okay. There, the cable management looks okay. You can still see the sheathing coming through a little bit through those bushings. And everything in there looks good. Don't want to leave any junk inside the panel. All right. And we're on the correct breakers. This is number 12 wire on a 20 amp breaker. Same here, okay? So we know we got that right. I always take a picture of everything I do. And then I've got a record. I can look at it later and see what I've done. Make sure I didn't make any mistakes. All right. Hang that up. And then what we got to do now is staple down those cables. and label the panel. Make sure the breakers are all sticking through properly before you tighten this down. Everything looks good. I'm going to label these two here. Heat pump east and heat pump west. Last thing to do is just staple these down. I got these new style nylon staples. And the first one's got to go within about 4 inches of the box. Okay. So, one right there. The other one here. Smooth these out and staple them up the wall. There, I just double checked that those wire nuts were tight, and everything looks good in there. And put the cover on this, and then we're all done. A couple of staples over there, and that's done. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. And we'll see you again here very soon on Everyday Projects. Now remember, get someone else to do your electrical. Don't do this yourself. This is for information purposes only. Bye for now.